The first thing you're going to do from the dashboard is you're going to go over to reselling here on the left-hand side. It's about midway. You'll click right over there. From here, you'll scroll down about halfway through. And the first thing you see here is resell WordPress. And it shows you that the standard plan is $10 per month. But what I want to do is I want to click on view plans. And this gives me an idea of what the different plans are for the WordPress hosting. And there's a couple of them that I just kind of want you to go through to see how they work and see what you can do with them for your different clients. And every person is going to have a different need. If you don't do a lot of WordPress websites, you probably want to stick with the standard plan. This is where there's one WordPress website per sub account, where there's only 2 gigabytes of storage, which usually is more than enough, 200 gigabytes of bandwidth, 10,000 visits, 5 manual backups, a free SSL, theme and plugin management, and a staging environment. So your pretty basic plan there. After that, we get to what's called a utility plan. Now, let's say that you are a little further along in your career. You've gotten past the first initial 20 clients, and you want to have a bigger package. You want to be able to give more to your clients, and you have a bigger reason to do that. So the way you do it is you would go with the utility plan. This is if you want to go with 25 WordPress sites. Now, these 25 WordPress sites are over-encompassing your whole agency. It's not just one particular account. It would be the absolute whole agency. So if you had 100 people in your SaaS, but only 25 were going to have a WordPress website, this is the one that you would go with. Now that's going to give you a bit of an upgrade. It's going to be 10 gigabytes of storage, 100 gigabytes of bandwidth, unlimited visits, unlimited backups, free SSL, theme and plugin management, staging environment, and unlimited manual backups. Here's the thing. This one works really well when you're really starting to do business. If you're just doing the one-off WordPress website, there's not a lot of traffic to this, this is the one you want to go with. If it's a simple sites that you're dealing with, maybe you're dealing with a local contractor who doesn't get a lot of traffic, you would go with the one on the left. Now, if you're managing their systems and getting them traffic, if that's your whole business, you really want to at least move on to the utility plan. Utility plan is going to be much more robust and handle a lot more visits per month. So as you can see on this one, by the way, we're going over the annual plans right now. This is $9 per site. And then the utility plan comes down to $8.30 a site, which is a good plan. Now, after you get past that, after you get to the higher mark, you're going to want to go with the unlimited plan. Now, the unlimited plan is the plan that someone who's very serious about growing their WordPress business is going to want to go with. Here's why. It's pretty simple. You can kind of just read down the list. You've got unlimited WordPress websites, 20 gigabytes of storage, 200 gigabytes of bandwidth, unlimited visits, unlimited backups, a free SSL, theme and plugin management, a staging environment, unlimited manual backups, and priority support. Now, when you're running a business, these things are very key. If you have anything over 25 websites like I do, I've got well over a couple hundred clients, you're going to want to have something that's much more robust. Plus, it's unlimited. So if you sell 26 sites plus, you're going to move on to this plan and you're going to be able to really grow your business. You can have literally hundreds, thousands of sites and thousands of hosting environments all on that unlimited plan. That's when you really start making the money. But you could definitely start with the standard plan. And then that's obviously per site, it's unlimited. There is no way to track exactly how much that would be able to cost, because if you had thousands and it's based off the $414 per month, well, then, as you can see, it's going to be a lot less. By the way, the prices I'm showing you right now are the annual prices. That's how they break it down. If you're just paying monthly, then this is how it works. It's $10 a month, $220 per month for the utility plan, or $497 for the truly unlimited plan. That goes over the different plans that are available for your WordPress hosting. The next part that we need to go over is how to set the profit you'll be making on each one of these sites hosted. So what you'll do is you'll go to reselling again on the left-hand side. You'll scroll down to resell WordPress hosting. And if you're on the $10 price plan, the $10 monthly, I have it at the basic here, you can then put in your price right here and it'll show your profit. If you're on a different plan, you'll show a different profit. You want to try to sell at least $15 a month, which is very inexpensive for hosting nowadays. There are other lower cost options, but remember, you're going to be servicing these clients, I would hope. You're going to be giving them better service, and not only that, be able to show them all the different things HighLevel can do so that you can expand their reach, expand their traffic, and expand what they can do for their business online. So this is where you would put in your profit. Whatever model works best for you is the way that you can go. I've seen people charge $35 a month. I've seen people charge $100 a month. I've even seen people charge $1,000 a month for hosting. It really depends on what you want to do and how you're going to make it work. The next part we'll be going over is the specifications and attributes for the hosting. On this tab, you're going to see a little bit more information about the way the hosting works on HighLevel. It's lightning fast speed on Google servers. It's always on security, daily backups. That's really super, super key. Global CDN, meaning from wherever in the world that data can be accessed easily for the sites. 20 gigabytes of storage per site, at least. 24/7 support, unlimited bandwidth with the higher tier plan, and a free SSL certificate and automated migration. Now, when we scroll down here, you can see this based on other hosting providers, some of the more popular ones. You have HighLevel, of course, on the left-hand side, Bluehost, Kinsta, and SiteGround. Now, I, as you may know from people who've worked with me before, use SiteGround a lot. I'm going to be moving over to HighLevel because of all the different attributes that it has. First of all, the storage is 20 gigabytes as compared to the 10 gigabytes on SiteGround. So that gives me a lot more space. It gives me a bigger PHP memory limit. The price is, again, at $9 a month. This or could be $10 a month, depending on how you configure it, or unlimited. Visitors, you can have unlimited. This is up to 10,000. Chat support, free backup and restore. This is so cool. This is the part that I love the best, is that you can constantly be backing up your website. That is key. You want to make sure that day by day, you have a fresh backup of your website. Built-in email system, password reset in-app, free and automatic SSL certification and generation. So if you ever look at the URL of a website, it'll say HTTPS. That doesn't just happen natively. You have to actually make that happen in order for it to be a secure site. But in HighLevel, that happens automatically. It's free from everyone, but specifically it's free and automatic in HighLevel. Next, it has simple object access protocol. This is how we will be able to have WordPress communicate with automations inside of HighLevel. And lastly, easy site import capabilities. So you have your site on another hosting provider, maybe GoDaddy, it could be any number of places, and then easily move it into this hosting on the GoHighLevel system. For the fourth and final part of this video, what we'll be doing is installing and configuring the WordPress site on a sub account. So from the sub account, I'm going to go to sites on the left-hand side. I'll choose WordPress, which is right here in the middle. I'm going to activate a WordPress website for this account. Just by hitting this blue button, you can see that that $4.99 of profit that I have in there is already in that link. And then I'm just going to put in my credit card to make it happen. I'm going to pause the video while I do that. Now that I've put the card number in, I'll scroll down, make sure I have the zip in there, and pay the $14.99 and subscribe. And it's going to set up my WordPress site. Now that my site has been activated, here you'll see it on the left-hand side. And I can create multiple sites for this account, as I've said, just by clicking on Create Site again over here. But I'm not going to do that in this tutorial. So I go back to WordPress, and here's the site. And now I want to complete the setup of it. I'm going to click here. I can choose one of two ways of doing this. I can do it from blank, or I can choose a template. For this tutorial, I'm going to use a template. I'll hit continue. And I could choose any number of WordPress templates that are in here. Right now, there are 6. I believe that there are more to come. I'm just going to choose this one right away. And then I'm going to give a name to this website. So this is just going to be a temp website for video. And if I don't like the template that I chose originally, I could just choose another one or another one. As you can see, it's pretty simple. I'll just choose, again, go back to this dental one, and I'll fix the temp right here so I have better spelling. There we go. And hit create. And this is going to take a moment, and it's going to install the website for me. And as you can see right here, it gives us the progress of that site being built. Now that my website has been created, I'm going to go over the different parts of this dashboard for the site. The first thing that we have is staging access. This is where we'll have an environment for testing or developing of a new website. If we were going to do that, we could create that environment right here. I'm not going to do that one right now. Here is where we have our temporary URL for the website. We have both our admin area and our website area. This is where we would go temporarily until we add a domain to the site. Next, we would manage our domain. This is where we would add our new domain. Very simply, you would click on Add Domain and just follow through the steps to add that domain. Very similar to how you would add a domain with your other sites in HighLevel. And I'm going to add one of those domains now. I'm going to click Add Domain. I'm going to type in my domain name in here. Now, for this purposes, I am going to use a subdomain. I'm going to call it wptest.brighteridea.com. Since I chose manual, now I need to add the information to my domain provider. I'm going to scroll down over here, and I'm going to copy this key right here. I'll hit copy. It's going to be a TXT record. I'll go into GoDaddy. As you can see, I've already chosen TXT. I'm going to paste that name in there. If it was the root directory, this would be an @ symbol instead of WP test, but I am using a subdomain. Then I'm going to put a value over here. I'll grab this right here. Paste that string in here and hit save. And then I just need to do it again. I'm going to choose TXT. Right over here, I'll grab this guy right there. Put that under name. And then I'll grab this information right here. And I'll paste it in there and click save. Now that I know the records are in there, I'm going to go back to this tab and I'm going to hit verify TXT records. Now, sometimes when you do this, it doesn't happen automatically, as you can see. This sometimes takes a little bit of time. You may need to wait anywhere between 24 to 48 hours to make all of this happen. So be patient and realize that you just need to make sure that everything is set in there correctly and it will work out just fine. And I'll click Verify TXT Records again. Finally, after that has worked, then we need to add a new CNAME to the configuration. We're going to grab this key here. We're going to go back to GoDaddy, click Add New Record, choose CNAME, paste that name. Again, it would be an @ symbol if you were in a root directory, if you were at something like www.whatever.com. And then you're going to grab this value right over there. Go to Domain, paste in the value, hit Save. Take a little time, maybe get a cup of coffee or refresh any drink that you may have, and then click Verify DNS Records. Again, this may not happen instantly because I just put the information in there. It could take 5-10 minutes, sometimes 24 to 48 hours. And once it works, you're going to get this message that says domain added successfully, and you'll go to WordPress info. And you're back at the main dashboard for your WordPress site. Now that we're done with that, we then need to scroll down here and choose which site will be our primary domain. I'll click on these 3 dots and I'll set this as the primary domain. Next, you're probably going to want to test the site and see if it's actually working. Now, when I click this button, This may or may not work depending on how quickly I've clicked on it, meaning it takes a little while for the SSL to actually work. It seems to be working just fine right now. But if you have any issue or it says it hasn't issued the certificate yet, just give it a hold, give it a moment. The system is still just catching up. So we're in the admin section of our WordPress site. And if I click on the little house here, I'll go to the home page right there. Now, there's a couple other parts that I want to go over with you in the dashboard of the WordPress site. You have the ability to import your existing website. We'll be going over that in another video. We then have the analytics, what we're using on the site, the data transfer, the response code, all this good information to see the different requests that are coming into from the site. We could see the different users for a site. This is really cool. It used to be that you would have to go into the site in order to make a new user. You can do it just from the configuration deck right here. You can see which plugins that you have on your WordPress website. You can turn them on and turn them off. And then you can, of course, add more plugins on your actual WordPress site. You have the different themes that it either comes with or has been provided. And you can obviously upload anything that you want. You've got your backups. And if you want to, you can back up right this moment or whenever you want to. Or I always suggest backing up your website before you make any big changes. So even if your site had been backed up in the morning, if you do some work on it, you probably want to run a backup just in case, just to make sure you have everything set and make sure that just in case you really screw up, you can always turn back the clock. You can then look at the activity logs, seeing what users have come in and come out. And finally, the advanced settings. This goes over your cache management, your WordPress debugging, your database management, and then finally, you can delete the site. Very, very important. Sometimes you need to start fresh or you just want to strip it all away. And that's our video on how to configure, host, and install a WordPress website on HighLevel.